everyone. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. Sorry about the delay thing. It is 9 p.m. now. What we did today, Chris and I, we went to his grandma's first to arrange for the delivery of a table, back patio in our house. We decided to get the table, and it'll be at our house in about a couple weeks. So also, we just got back from the movies, and I had to get some dinner after we got home. So anyway, we have a new episode for you guys. It is called The Child with the Library Card. So it's something to do with a little child that had a library card. We all had library cards when we had to go to the library and check out some books, maybe movies, or get games or something like discs or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, now that we're here, usually I go live streaming at 8:30, but tonight I did a little bit different. I just logged on like 9 o'clock, so it's a bit different. But we are still doing the ghost story tonight. So thank you for being very patient. Also, thank you for supporting my channel, and also thank you for subscribing it. And tomorrow we're gonna have our regular nights. The time will be our regular, which is 8:30 to 9 tomorrow. So anyway, the movie was amazing. Okay, we went to see Moana, the live action version. It was amazing. I love that movie, and Dwayne Johnson was amazing. He played Maui. So it was awesome. So anyway, if you guys would like to go see it, it's in theaters now, and it premiered yesterday. So we went to see the movies today. It was at 6 p.m. ended at 8. So it's a 2-hour movie, the best. It turned out awesome. So if you have kids, if they want to see Moana, let them go see Moana. So it's the live action, and the songs were awesome. The actors were amazing. So it was kind of sad when Moana's grandmother had died and came back as a stingray. So it makes a lot of sense. Just like on the original of Moana, which is the animated version, I would want to see it again for the second one. There's probably going to be Moana number 2, but it's the live action. So I would love to see it again. Anyway, so we're moving on. Let's get started on the story about a young child who had a library card. So I guess we'll have to find out who this little kid was. Anyway, now that I'm here, so let's get started. Thanks for being very patient about coming to live stream and see what's up. And I got a reply, probably, well, Just got a text from an 8-year-old on my reply chat from Arabella. Well, just call her Bella. So anyway, Bella, if you're watching this, I'm here. You're always welcome to join the conversation and, join the camera if you wish to. So let's get started on the story. All these ghost stories are actually related to real life events. So anyway, get something to drink, relax, sit back, relax. Please click like, share, and subscribe. So we are not on season 5 anymore. It's season 6 now. I changed it. So yeah, we're on season 6 now. So it's awesome. Anyway, let's get started on the story. I know you are dying to hear the story. So let's get started. The Child with the Card. Season 6 now. Episode 191. Sonia took her son, Malik, to the downtown branch every Saturday because the public library was one of the few places in the city that still felt like it expected children to become something rather than merely stay quiet. Malik loved the kids for obvious reasons. Bearings, dinosaur books, puppet bins, but Sonia liked the old staircase leading to the mezzanine or mezzanine or whatever. I don't know how to say this word. It's weird. Mezzanine above, where local history and oversized collections lived. In a hush, even Saturday, parents respected instinctively the children's room, had once occupied the mezzanine before renovations moved it downstairs, and some traces remained painted stars still visible under newer cream walls. A too-low built-in shelf near the corner window and a tiny reading nook curtained off behind the large print room. Malik had always been fascinated by the nook, despite repeated explanations that it was for staff storage only. One winter morning, while Sonia was checking out books, he came back holding an old library card with someone else's name on it and said, matter-of-factly, the other kid wanted this put back right. The card was thick, stuck from another era, stamped for a child named Elsie Rourke. Sonia assumed Malik had fished it out of some display and took it to the circulation desk. The librarian who saw it went oddly still and asked where exactly he'd found it. When Malik pointed toward the curtained reading nook upstairs, the woman smiled too quickly and said she'd taken care of it, but later, while Sonia helped Malik choose books, she noticed the card had somehow returned to his coat pocket that afternoon. He asked whether the little girl in the yellow sweater could read with him next week. Sonia, whose son did not usually invent companions, asked what girl. The one who hides by the old window because she thinks the bell means everyone has to go home. He answered. She says they forgot her chapter. The head children's librarian, after gentle persistence and visible reluctance, explained that decades earlier, the mezzanine had indeed housed the children's room during a winter blackout. One evening, a girl named Elsie stayed in finishing a book chapter while her mother searched for gloves and spoke with staff downstairs. In the confusion of evacuation and early closure, the child was briefly left behind in the darkened mezzanine. She was found soon afterward, frightened but physically unharmed. She later died years later of unrelated illness. Still, over the decades, some librarians and a few children described seeing a little girl by the older corner window turning pages and asking whether the bell had rung yet. We don't know that in the annual report. The librarian said dryly, Sonia appreciated the understatement and hated how plausible it all sounded when framed that way. Malik became the haunting's chosen witness in a way both tender and inconvenient. He never seemed frightened. He simply began leaving one extra picture book by the corner window each visit and reporting small details. No adult had taught him that Elsie did not like the new carpet, that she missed when the books were up higher, that she wanted someone to finish reading aloud after the part of the bear in the red. Had Sonia tried not to encourage it, while also not dismissing him, a balancing act parents perform. Whenever imagination approaches the edge of something older than one snowy Saturday during an HVAC outage that made the mezzanine colder than usual, Sonia heard it herself, the soft rustle of pages turning from behind the staff curtain where no one stood. When she looked up, a little girl in a mustard cardigan sat on the window bench with her feet not quite reaching the cushion edge, reading a worn blue book as if she had always belonged there. Sonia did not call out. The girl lifted her head first. Her face held the solemn concentration of children who take stories more seriously than adults think they should. He skips the voices, Elsie said, nodding toward Malik, who had been sounding out a picture book downstairs. Sonia, against every rule of sensible adulthood, replied, "He's 6." Elsie considered this. "Still," she said, "the fox sounds wrong when he's brave." Then she looked toward the stairwell with old worry sharpening her face. Did the bell ring? Sonia glanced down. The library's closing bell wouldn't sound for hours. "No," she said, "not yet." Elsie seemed to relax, tucked a finger in her book, and returned to reading. By the time Sonia looked back from one blink to the next, the bench was empty and the blue book laid closed, where no book had been a second earlier. The title was "The Bear on the Hill," an out-of-print early reader from the 1940s, long removed from active circulation. The checkout card in the back still held one stamped name, Elsie Rourke. Sonia borrowed it through special collections under the bewildered but cooperative eye of the librarian and brought it home. That night, Malik asked if he could practice the fox voice correctly. Because Elsie had been patient about it, together they read the book out loud. Sonia found herself doing voices with more commitment than dignity, partly for her son and partly for a child who might still be listening from a window seat. Generations later, the next Saturday, Malik returned the book to the old nook and said politely, "We finished your chapter." The mezzanine felt warmer after that, despite the old radiator remaining cold. Over the next month, the sightings shifted. Elsie was still there, sometimes, but no longer always in the nook. Once, Sonia saw her near the new children's room, downstairs peering over a display basket with obvious approval. Another time, Malik said Elsie had gone to see where they keep the bear books now. The head librarian moved more than she intended to show arranged for a small display on the mezzanine about the branch's history, including an image of the old children's room and reproduction of Elsie's library card. After that, the little girl was seen less often and only near closing, always with a book in hand and a calmer expression. The building no longer seemed to trap her in a forgotten blackout. It had perhaps finally reintroduced itself. Sonia still takes Malik every Saturday. He has largely stopped mentioning the girl in the yellow sweater, not because she scared him or because adults discouraged him, but because some friendships in childhood belong naturally to brief, strange overlaps. Once in a while shelving returns at the picture book cart, Sonia hears a page turn from no nearby hand, and catches the faint smell of old paste and wool. She never minds libraries. She has decided are among the few places where hauntings can look a lot like unfinished reading. In another world, Elsie might simply have grown up into one more woman carrying too many books home on Saturdays. In this one, at least, someone finally made sure she got her chapter. Wow, guys. Apparently, this little girl named Elsie Rourke, she must have been about 6 or 7 years old, who died in 1940s. That is so sad, you guys. I mean, I probably would try and figure out a way to keep Elsie away from dangerous places. Like, if I were Elsie's mom, I would literally try and figure out a way to get her away from the horrible situation. So, I mean, I would, if she was like sick from some kind of sickness or whatever, but I would try to figure out a way to get help for Elsie, like find medications or whatever, talk to doctors and find out, get the cure for her. And if she takes it, she'll be okay. She will like literally grow up strong and more mature, or whatever this child would be, grow up to be an amazing person, an amazing woman, be an amazing librarian, like the owner of the library or something. I mean, if I were her, I definitely would. So, okay, this story is a little bit short, but this story is pretty much based on real life events, what happened in 1940s, like early 40s maybe, or sometime in the mid 40s. But I think it's related to this little girl named Elsie. Whew, I hope that Elsie found her peace. Now we are going to move on into the questions with answers. We have about 10 questions and 10 answers. Anyone is anyone is always welcome to. So if Bella's right here right now, since maybe she might be watching, I hope, let me know if you think this story makes any sense to you guys. I got a text from Cousin Bella. What? Your cousin.
On where?
On the YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah, you did. Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see her in the comments.
I know, but, well, she sent me a lot. So, anyway, I'll show it to you later. Anyway, let's go with the questions and answers. So, right after this, I am going to get cleaned up and get ready for bed. So, I hope you guys are ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be our regular timing. So, I mean, I was going to do it 8:30, but I can do it anytime, like 9 p.m., maybe 10 p.m. It doesn't even matter. So anyway, let's get started on the questions. Would you have believed your child if they described Elsie so calmly? Yes, I definitely would. I mean, I've gone to the library all the time. Fearless and I go to the library all the time. Oh, and Chris also says yes. So true. I definitely would believe my child. if I ever had a child and what my child saw something would run to me into his or her father, we would believe what our child was saying, seeing a ghost. So, did you say pie?
Yes.
Okay. But I would definitely believe, I would not ignore my child anyway, so I would definitely believe. I mean, come on, I am an empath. I can literally feel their presence, and if I've gone to investigate a lot of places, I would definitely believe everybody. I mean, I used to be skeptical, even though I am an adult, but I would still believe what children were trying to tell people, what these kids were seeing, and how they are describing of these kids who died many years ago. So, anyway, let's go to number 2. Do you think kept Elsie tied to the old mezzanine? Yes. I think maybe the book. Yes. I think some kind of book that pretty much got her bound to her. Or actually, it's not just the book. I think it's the actual building that trapped her. She died at the library in 1940s. I don't know what part of it, but I mean, I think she died either like sometime around early 1940s or mid 1940s or late 1940s. We'll have to figure it out. So I think Elsie died in the actual library. So that's what trapped her. Her mom tried to get her out, but she was looking for her baby. She was looking for her gloves, and then something bad happened to her. This child is dead because oh hey Tally, there goes my kitty now. Tally, come here, baby. Meow. And there she goes, following her daddy. Okay, so I pretty much think that, well, I think it's the library that's keeping her spirit. So she died from some kind of illness, but like a few years later, but she is still bound to the library, so she can't leave because her soul decided to stay. But she wanted to finish the chapter, but she could not, so she died. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Elsie's ghost is trapped inside the library just because that she wanted to finish her chapter? Let me know in the comments down below if you think she's trapped. Aww, hey Kelly. Hi baby girl, it's mommy. Aww, hi sweet baby. Hi my baby, huh? And she wanted to hear mommy's voice. My cat wanted to hear my voice, so that's why she came up, so she could hear her mama's voice. She wants to be with me all the time. She's like very clingy, but I love her so much. So, but I think it's definitely the library. All right, let's go to number 3. Why are libraries and children's reading rooms such powerful, haunting settings? Memories. No wonder why. It's the history of the library where people who refuse to leave the place and they are like don't want to leave because they are like somehow were called in for. it's their favorite place to be and favorite spot to be at. So their energies were stuck there. If they leave, their energies are stuck there, like their souls or whatever. It's the history of the place. It's so powerful. It's because of the memories. Everyone has memories, and it's a part of us. Let's say I refuse to leave my favorite place or like my spot just because I don't want to be anywhere else but at my favorite place. And if I'm dead, I would still refuse to go somewhere else. I would still rather be where I want to be, even in death. So this little girl refused to leave the library until she finished her chapter. But good thing that I don't have any words for this, okay? I don't know how to explain it anywhere else. So let's go to number 4. We're nearly done, so we're almost finished here. What was more unsettling, the returned library card or seeing her by the window? I think it was seeing her by the window, not just the card. It was definitely her, but if I were that little boy or little girl, whoever it was, I would make sure this spirit of this child found her way to to heaven or something. Let's say if they finished her chapter and they finally freed her, they probably would be at peace as well. Anyway, I definitely would. So I would definitely see this little girl named Elsie Rourke. And I would be sad if I didn't free her. So, I mean, something like that. I mean, a lot of people die different ways and they come back to the beginning where they were happy. So this little girl, she didn't want to leave the libraries because she was so happy. She came back and stayed where she wanted to be. So, but then she was sad because she couldn't find her mama. But now she's finally free and everyone can be at peace as well. So I think seeing her by the window is more unsettling. All right, let's go to number 5. Was Sonia right to read the book aloud for her? Yes. Elsie wanted to read the book out loud. She wanted to hear someone's voice out loud, but nobody has done that in decades. But now, after all these decades, she finally heard someone's voice, and that's what freed her. And I think Sonia did the right thing. Yes. So, that was an amazing thing to do, but I definitely would have done the same thing if I wanted to help a spirit move on and be free into the afterlife. It's kind of hard for me to explain these, so we'll figure it out. Let's go to number 6. We're almost done here. Do you think the display about branch history helped Elsie move on? Yes. If they did not, Elsie would have been trapped at the library still in the kids' room. Like, literally. If they didn't display it, or like if the branch pretty much like I mean, like, if the history of the library would not be trapping her, I don't know how else to explain this, but if they did not display about the library thing, she would still be there. If they like didn't read the kids' books out loud to the living kids, she would still be trapped. So I think so. They definitely displayed about the branch history to help her move on. My answer is always going to be a yes. All right, let's go to number 7. How is this haunting connected to being forgotten rather than harmed? That's a good question, you guys. Well, it's connected because, well, the history is connected to a young child who died at a very young age. I mean, a lot of people are connected to that place. It's because maybe they were the original owners of the building. So that's the history. They built the place, they opened it up, built everything in there, and let the kids go in there and play around with other kids, play with toys, read books out loud, that sort of thing. That's more like a memory for me. I think it was definitely memories. Good memories. No wonder why Elsie refused to move on until she heard someone's voice reading the book out loud for her. Well, to her, actually. So now she has moved on, and the librarians and a lot of kids and adults literally are peaceful, like moving on in at peace. So let's go to number 8. Okay, guys, we have 3 questions left before I sign off. It is almost 10 o'clock anyway. I gotta get ready for tomorrow, whatever. I mean, Chris has to go to church, but he doesn't have to go to work till like 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. to 8. So, would you keep bringing your child there after this can finishing a story? Yes. I definitely would, yes. I mean, if I had a child, if my child wanted to go to the library and go check out some more books, go to the reading room, and listen to a lot of kids' stories from the librarian who loves kids, of course, younger children, like 5-year-olds maybe. If I did have a child, I definitely would bring my baby to the library, and I'll let my kid pick out any kid's book. We would sit down at the table and start reading out loud, but not too loud, just whenever. So I definitely would, yes. All right. Actually, yeah. Let's go to number 9. Can finishing a story become a form of release? Yes. My answer will always going to be a yes. So if I want to finish a story out loud, I definitely can release a spirit that was trapped inside the book or at the library or whatever. I definitely would release it. If the spirit would have chosen this specific person, if it chose me and my child, we would definitely help this little girl named Elsie to find a way out so she can find her mommy and be released, so she can go to heaven and be at peace. Watch over all of us from above the grave, like from beyond the grave, from heaven, with a lot of kids who died at a very young age. Okay, guys, we have one more question before I sign off. If a ghost only wanted their chapter read to the end, would you do it? Yes, of course. My answer will always be a yes. If I wanted a spirit to read the book out loud till the end, I definitely would do it. I mean, if a child chose me to finish reading the kids' book, whatever the kids picked out, I definitely would finish reading the whole thing, like from the beginning to the end. And I would definitely release the spirit from its torment, and this spirit would finally be happy and tell me that it's time for this spirit to move on. And I would be very happy about it too. I would specifically say, "You're welcome, and good luck finding your loved ones who are in heaven. Be at peace. Everything will be okay." Exactly. So that's exactly what I would do. All right, you guys, we are out of time. Thank you guys for listening and nearly almost participating. And thank you for participating.
You're welcome.
So we are not on season 5 now because I changed the number from 5 to 6. Okay. Our next episode by tomorrow night is The Bellhop in the East Hall. This is a new one. So anyway, have a wonderful night. Stay safe and have fun. Happy summer. Stay hydrated, and see you next time on Ghosting with Anya on episode 192. We are on season 6 now, so you're welcome to change season from season 5 to season 6. So anyway, please click like, share, and subscribe, and thank you all for being here. And we'll see you all tomorrow night, 8:30 to 9 p.m., which means 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. So thank you guys, and enjoy it while you can. So go see a movie of Moana, the live action version. Your child is going to be so happy, and just enjoy it. And have a great night, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. So bye. May God bless you. Please click like, share, and subscribe. Bye.